Jewel in the Sasol South African Rally Championship. This is the rally that draws the largest amount of spectators in arguably the most scenic part of the country. This is the rally that drivers want to win most. This is the 2010 Sasol Rally. Every year, thousands and thousands of fanatical rally fans flock to Mpumalanga for the Sasol Rally. The rally is much more than just a motorsport event, but an experience for the whole family in the beautiful area that surrounds Nelspruit, White River, Sabi and Graskop. The area is well known for its forestry and plantations, but a host of outdoor activities and breathtaking scenery makes it a tourist hotspot. The 2010 Sasol Rally also marks the 20th year of the event with backing from South African fuel and oil giant Sasol. Each year, the rally fans are entertained by the action on the stages. But the Sasol also plays a much larger role than just providing entertainment. The event is a massive injection for the area's economy, and the financial gain from the rally's visit goes a long way in boosting businesses and uplifting local communities. Beautiful and entertaining from the outside, but inside the York Timbers plantations, it's a different story for the drivers, who will have to negotiate some of the roughest rally roads the country has to offer. These roads are notorious car breakers, and it's often the team that can avoid punctures and other mechanical trouble that will be victorious. For 2010, the rally stages are all housed within the plantations of York Timbers, as York CEO Piet van Zyl explains.
This is just one of the sporting events we're involved in as a company. It gives a nice social and economic upliftment to our staff, and it brings a bit of fun and excitement here.
With only minutes to go before the start of the 2010 Sasol, it's time for the drivers and navigators to focus on the tough challenges that lie ahead. The Sasol is not only the most glamorous rally on the calendar, but it's one event that double South African champion Herr van Vecken is yet to win. In 2009, he lost out by 4 seconds.
It's my home club event, and it's also one of the events that my father used to organize. So yeah, I love it. I want to win it.
Conrad Rotenbach is on the move following his previous win, but this will be his and the Fiesta's first outing on the Sasol.
It's going to be a very difficult rally, I think. And the guys are not going to lie down and let me walk away with it, so I think it's going to be really difficult, and yeah, we're going to see what we can do.
Enzo Kuhn is just 2 points behind the championship lead, and this is one of his favourite rallies and an event he's won many times before.
I have. It's a nice event. I think it's not the standard event. You know, you always have an angle of mud and fog and many challenges in this event.
Toyota has it all to do on the Sasol as they're still without a win for 2010. Mark Cronier drove well so far, but is unlucky to find himself 4th on the points table.
I think 4th is probably a perfect spot. But in saying that, we need to have the pace. We've had reasonable pace the whole year. It's just that we've had little gremlins coming here and there and just catch up with us. So I think it's important that we finish so we can sort of stay alive in the championship.
Johnny Gemmell will be disappointed with his season so far after being a title contender in 2009. But for this year's Sasol, Gemmell faced an additional challenge.
My navigator Drew from Scotland couldn't make it out of Europe this week due to the volcano and ash cloud. So we've got my friend Phil Archinall from Zimbabwe, and it's first time out with us together, so it's going to be quite interesting.
Jan Habig is another who has very little to show for his efforts so far. Could the Sasol be the turning point for this multiple champion?
Yeah, you know, the car's been performing very well, and maybe we had a bit of bad luck in the last event, but yeah, we'll go hard again.
Behind the factory Toyotas and Volkswagens and the Ford Fiesta, a mammoth battle is expected between the string of S2000 privateers. Hein Lateghan is extremely fast and will be supported by his Pertec teammate Visser Du Plessis. But it's the consistency of Theuns Joubert that sees him lead his rivals on the points table, just ahead of Evan Hutchison, who will now tackle his 3rd ever rally behind the wheel of his motorized Polo. Nicholas Ryan reached the Sasol podium in 2008, and Jaapie van Niekerk will most likely mix it up with the factory teams like he's done so many times before. The Total Evolution team has suffered from terrible luck so far this season. JP Damso rolled in Cape Town, Fernando Roida was forced to retire with mechanical problems, and Mohamed Musa had one of the biggest accidents we've ever seen. So the Total team will be out to get their season back on track, including Musa, who's managed to rebuild his Toyota Runex.
We had a big one. In your rally career, everybody has to have a big one, so I hope that's behind us now.
Teams are ready and spectators anxious to get 2010 Sasol Rally action underway. As always with the Sasol, the atmosphere in Sabi is electric as Sasol executives wave the teams off on what will surely turn out to be an epic adventure. Championship leaders Fecken and Aries are the first to leave the start ramp, followed by BP Ultimate teammates Kuhn and Hodgson. Castrol Toyota's Johnny Gemmell and stand-in navigator Phil Archinall will start third, ahead of their teammates Cronje and Paisley. Fifth on the road is a good position for Habich and Pitchford, while the Ford Fiesta of Zimbabweans Rotenbach and Marsh will start in sixth. It's day one of the renowned Sasol Rally, with 5 challenging gravel stages around Graskop and Sabi before returning to the town for the evening's test on tar. At only 9.3 kilometers, stage 1 just outside Graskop may not sound like much, but 9.3 kilometers filled with jumps and other obstacles is more than enough to get the adrenaline flowing. A rally is never won on the first stage, but it can be lost. And as if the demanding forest roads of the Sasol isn't enough of a challenge, rain in the week before the event left the roads wet and extremely slippery. And to make matters even worse, thick mist moved in that will surely limit visibility from the inside of the rally cars.
3, 2, 1, go!
2010 Sasol Rally action gets underway with championship leaders Hergen Fecken and Pierre Aries the first to break the morning silence in the BP Ultimate Polo. Just over 9 kilometers in 5 minutes and 42.2 seconds.
Some of these corners have a lot of mist in, especially the fast ones here towards the end. So it's quite tricky.
Teammates Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson are always favourites to win the Sasol Rally, a feat that they have accomplished no less than 5 times before. Their time on stage 1, 5 minutes and 42.4 seconds, just 0.2 seconds slower than their teammates. Johnny Gemmell won this event in 2009, but preparations this time around with new navigator Phil Archinall were less than ideal. The Castrol Toyota Aurus didn't care and took the early lead by a full 2 seconds.
Yes, felt okay that one, but terrible miss there. Very bad, very bad. I thought we were losing time, but it's all right.
His lead was short-lived, however, as Castrol Toyota teammates Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley blasted through the mist in a time of 5 minutes and 36.9 seconds, nearly 4 seconds faster than anyone else.
We had a nice clean run there, and it's a bit tricky right at the end because the mist is like blind and it's just getting a bit airy.
Jan Habich and Ralph Pitchford opted for a cautious start in the third of the BP Ultimate Polos, nearly 9 seconds slower than Cronje. The Ford Fiesta of round 2 winners Conrad Rotenbach and Peter Marsh were the next ones to run the misty gauntlet. 5 minutes and 34.7 seconds, more than 2 full seconds faster than Cronje and the early rally lead.
Max right maybe in long, sorry, Brouwer's lead, Max left maybe over bump, 70 down turn. Need 5 left plus and caution, bad dip.
It's not nice, it's really tricky.
All the main players survived their first taste of wet and misty Sasol Rally action, but together with the mist, an ominous feeling of anticipation is hanging in the air. After the first service break, it's time to tackle the next loop of stages. Stages 2 and 3 are run in succession and add a total of 31 kilometers to the rally distance that once again doesn't allow for any mishaps. The mist isn't lifting either, but there is some consolation, as stage 3 is a repeat of stage 1, so at least the drivers will have an idea of where they're going.
First on the road is often a huge disadvantage, as you are effectively sweeping the road clean of loose stones for the cars that follow. But on wet and slippery conditions, it is often better to be the car in front. Hergen Fecken and Pierre Aries made good use of their road position as they set the fastest times on both stages 2 and 3.
It was very twisty and a lot of blind corners in the mist. So you have to believe your navigator, which is not easy.
The mist is just as unpredictable as a result of a bet on the roulette tables. Less than 2 minutes after Fecken flew through stage 2, BP Ultimate teammates Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson experienced different conditions as they battled to see their way to the next corner. Keane could simply not commit and lost nearly 20 seconds to Fecken on stage 2 and another 9 seconds on stage 3.
Yeah, slow stage for us. We lost the brakes on the rear. I don't know, there's a pipe loose or something.
Johnny Gemmell and Phil Archinal also suffered from the mist. The Castrol Toyota Auris tried hard, but lost a full 21 seconds to stage winner Fecken on stage 2. Gemmell fought back by setting the second fastest time of all on stage 3, but it was still 5 seconds slower than Fecken's winning time.
Yeah, you know, it's quite difficult to see. You can't see. And you get through a bit of mud, gets on the windscreen, you put the wipers on, and then, you know, it's a couple of seconds.
Inside second of the Castrol Toyota Aurises, Mark Ronier and Robert Paisley were anxious to return to winning form, but split times halfway through stage 2 indicated that he had a massive problem.
It's power steering. So, not going well.
Ronier lost a massive 1 minute and 18 seconds as a result, and another 20 seconds on stage 3. He would need a miracle to recover from this disaster. Jan Habig and Ralph Beachford would have seen conditions like these before, but there was nothing that even a 6 times rally champion could do about it. The BP Ultimate Polo did well to set the third fastest time of all on stage 2, but lost another 14 seconds to Fecken on stage 3. From 6 on the road, or exactly 12 minutes after Fecken first flew through stage 2, it was the turn of the Ford Fiesta of Conrad Rautenbach and Peter Marsh. The mist lifted slightly, allowing Rautenbach to attack, and as he only lost a single second to Fecken, the Zimbabwean remained in the lead. He could however not maintain the pace on stage 3 and dropped to second position behind Fecken, but only by a tenth of a second.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised. I wasn't expecting that. I thought we were losing lots of time there. I wasn't driving well as well, so we can do a lot better.
Jaapie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were not only consistent, but consistently fast in their new Africa Developments Toyota Auris. Van Niekerk's speed is of such a nature that if any of the top factory team drivers slip up just one little bit, he will be there to take full advantage. In a field of more than 15 top S2000 cars, Van Niekerk occupied 6th position after stage 3.
One keep out, very rocky, long right one, and right 2 of the crest into right 3. Into right 4 in of the bumpy. Right 4 in of the bumpy, 70. Left 2 of the easy jump, 70. Left 2 of the easy jump.
The Salom Group Polo of Mokopani businessman Tian Subert and navigator Carl Peskin was the next best after setting the 8th and 7th fastest times on the opening 2 stages respectively. But on stage 3, it all went wrong.
We came into a jump left 6, into a right 6. And I just jumped it too hard and I landed on a soapy, slippery bit on the side of the road, and then you're just a passenger. The nose hit the hole and we just went head over heels and onto the side, so that's it for us.
Versatile motorsportsman Evan Hutchison and navigator Alvin Coetzee improve on every event after moving to the top S2000 class just 3 events ago. The Motorride Polo was inside the top 10, but they hit a rock on stage 3 that broke the gearbox, forcing them to retire for the first time in 11 rallies. The Pertec Toyota Auris of Hein Lategan and Johan van der Merwe is one of the leading privateer teams, but Lategan lacked confidence in the tricky conditions. Intermittent intercom trouble didn't help his cause either, forcing him to take a careful approach.
When you get into your mid-40s or whatever, you start to have a bit more brains, and I'm just trying to do what I can do and try and stay in control.
Jean-Pierre Damso and Catalin Swan were also not willing to take any chances behind the wheel of the Total Evolution Toyota Runnings. Damso's only goal at this stage was to finish. They were 9th overall, just behind Lategan. Namibian driver Jaco van Dijk and new navigator Des de Fortier did well in only their 3rd outing behind the wheel of the unsponsored Volkswagen Polo by occupying 10th after stage 3.
There's quite a lot of plants in the front of your bumper.
There's quite a lot of plants on the side also, yes. Not anymore.
Just outside the top 10, Fernando Rueda and Dave Lefkowitz were getting the better of their Total Evolution Toyota teammates Mohamed Moussa and Grant Martin, who returned to rallying following their big accident earlier in the year. Visser Du Plessis and Gerard Snyman were lucky to get their Pertec Toyota Auris to the start After a main input shaft on the gearbox failed during the shakedown stage before the event, the overnight repairs allowed them to compete, and Du Plessis was currently in 13th position. Nicholas Ryan has finished on the Sasol Rally podium before, but together with Jeff Tyrer, the Avis Polo had a terrible start to the 2010 event. Mechanical trouble dropped them way down the leaderboard.
It couldn't be any closer, with just 1/10 of a second separating the current champion Hergen Fecken and the previous rally winner Konrad Rodenbach at the top of the leaderboard. There's a 24-second gap to Gemmel, who leads the rest of the charging pack. Join us after the break for more Sasol Rally in the beautiful forests of Mpumalanga. Hergen Fecken and